What's up? What's up? Marshall here. We'll see if we get some of our usual suspects in here tonight. I'm hoping to get a few people in here tonight. My buddies that normally come on. We chat about fishing and RCs. Got one person popped in just now. Yeah, the reason the title is the way it says it is, Henry McMasters, which is the governor of South Carolina, has issued a work or home. Basically, you can work, go to work, you can stay home, you can go outside and exercise as long as you stay 6 feet or more away from people. What's up, brother? Hope all is well with you. Did you hear about that, though? Governor Henry McMasters issued basically the lockdown thing where it's work or home. Says you can go visit your family members, especially if you know they're not sick. If you have you heard? So I'm wondering, does that mean us people that don't have enough room for a month's worth of stuff, if we go out and go to the grocery store, I wonder if we're going to get fined for that one, or if they're going to, allow for that to have to happen. Because some people just can't, store up and keep stuff for a month, Because I may have to get fined. Because I can't, like I said, I can't store up enough stuff for a whole month. I just don't have the cabinet space in the room. Because, that's the only time I'm going out, really, other than going out by myself. Now, if I go fishing, I'm making sure I get in a spot where it's just me. Or if I go fishing, I'm going to see somebody else there. I'm going to try to move at least 6 to 10 feet away from them. Or I may just leave that spot and see if I can find another spot where there's nobody at. Because, I ain't trying to be right up against somebody like this, or like right beside somebody like this and trying to fish. Because you don't know, what's going on with them. But yeah, because it says I got no place to fish. So you got nowhere to fish because, because so many people are there, huh? Is that what you're saying? He's Marshall Mathers, just a regular guy. I don't know what all the fuss is about him, Eminem. Oh, yeah, I'm Marshall, but I don't know if I'm Mather or not. Haha. Can't leave the house without a reason. Now, is that your wife's can't leave the house without a reason, or is that the governor thing? Because it says you can go outside for exercise as long as you use safety precautions and stay at least 6 feet away from any other person. Okay, governor, he did list on the listing that you can go outside to do exercise as long as you practice 6 feet distance away from any other person. So, my opinion, take your kayak and go fish. You can say I was out kayaking, doing my exercise. I like to go outside and, exercise my arms and everything. So I went kayaking, did some paddling. I called my local hobby town, USA, and they've been shut down. Yeah, man, Dick's Sporting Goods. You can go pick it up at the curb, but you can't go inside the store. Yeah, exercise the arms. 2.4 gigahertz. All the public lakes are closed. Wow. I had a feeling state parks would definitely close. Complete crap the economy has come to. Well, I know, like I said, Dick's Sporting Goods. You can go there and pick up your item from the curb. In other words, you order it, and they'll have it curb waiting on you for a certain time, and then you pull up and pick up what you ordered. You know, but you that way they can just stand there when you pull up and get out. You tell them who you are, what you ordered. They go, there it is. They turn and walk back in. You go up there and pick it up, load it up in your car, and go. But I don't see why more places aren't practicing some of that. Like Walmart, they've only got like 6 spots open for that online ordering groceries and then coming up there to pick it up. To me, they ought to open up about 20 more of those spots. That way people could just come up there, order the stuff online, come up there, pick it up. Somebody could load it in the back of the car, and you wouldn't even get within 6 feet of them. But, you know, I shredded up my aluminum nickel-plated 32 pinion on my E-Revo, on my mini E-Revo. Wow. But now, wishing I was fishing 73. So all the public lakes are closed. I went last week. Like I said, right there around the Tuesday talk. I went last week and went down here to the lake and fished. And nobody said anything to me. But it's not a state park. It's a public lake. But see, technically, if I go down there and fish on the pier or around that pier area, that's only for residents of this subdivision anyway. So it's kind of like a private spot to go fish. No. I don't really do the barbecue thing that much. I used to. We moved here, I didn't even bring the grill with me. But I know it's gotten worse. I mean, way worse. The reason he issued the stay-at-home or work order was because every county in South Carolina has confirmed cases of the virus living in it now. It's like every county of South Carolina has at least one confirmed case of the virus there. I cooked steaks on the grill Sunday. Cool. I don't know if you saw it or not, but I saw it somewhere where it said a tiger at one of the local zoos had been tested and was infected with the virus. And I'm like, oh, wow, man, if it can spread to the animals, that's going to make it even worse. Because, you know, stray animal come up in your yard. Hey, don't care whether you like dogs or not. You might not want to talk to any or reach down to pet any stray animals. If you don't know them, don't mess with them. Because if a tiger can get it inside of a zoo, you know a stray dog can get it running around. Yeah, they say it originally came from bats. That's what Darcy found when she was checking about where it came from in China. Said it originally came from bats over there. So, but I don't let my dogs go near anybody else's dogs. I don't let my dogs go near any stray dogs. I won't let them get near stray cats. If a stray dog comes up in the yard, we go the other way. I just ignore it because I don't want to take that chance. That dog could be done got, infected. And if you don't play it smart, it walks up to your dog. Next thing you know, your dog's got it and then you've got it. I mean, there's a chance. I just don't want to take that chance. But yeah, I don't think they've gone as far as closing all the grocery stores, have they? They still got all that open, though, because that's considered as a necessity. Like workplaces, like infrastructure stuff like banks and places like that are more of a necessity. Government offices are necessity, so they're still open. And I think like your grocery stores are all still open because those are necessity places. You know, I think if it's a necessity, it's open. Like DMV, somebody's got to go to renew their license. Well, that's still a necessity because if you work a job, you got to have your license to go work that job. So places like that are staying open. But businesses like your Bass Pro Shop and places like that, if they haven't closed yet, a lot of them are going to, you can order it online and then come pick it up curbside. And they have some kind of arrangement where they email you that it's ready, or you call them and tell them you're on your way, and they bring it out to you. This isn't going to end anytime soon. I work in a very public sector, and while many are heeding guidelines, many are not. Well, see, hey, Dad, RC, nice to have you here. A lot of people aren't paying it any attention at all. I went into my local Walmart, like I said, because I had to. Now, if I had a month, 2 months worth of room to store up stuff and had the place to put it all, I don't have the place to put any kind of freezer and refrigerated goods that's going to hold me over for a month. So I had to go into Walmart like, I'd say 6 days ago, 7 days ago, maybe 8. And there's people bringing their kids in there left and right. And I would see a mom come in with her daughter, and the daughter would have her baby with her. And I'm sitting there going, Mom could have stayed in the car with the baby or kept the baby at home while you came to or brought you up here, dropped you off at the grocery store, and sat out there in the car with the kid while you did your grocery shopping. And it kind of gets me, you taking a baby in there, you've got them in the buggy, they drop the pacifier and you pick it up and put it back in their mouth, and it was in the buggy. I didn't see her do no kind of, rubbing it with no kind of wipe or anything like that. So it just, I'm like, really? Are you people coming in there shopping for TVs? I saw a guy in there getting him a 54-inch or something like that, big screen TV. And him and this other guy who was helping him to make sure it didn't fall out of the buggy off the buggy top. There's no way they were 6 feet apart because one was holding this part of the TV, one was holding the other side of it. Tom's Hobbies, what's up, my friend? Massive Clouds, what's up, brother? Yeah, man, people aren't thinking straight. I mean, you're taking kids in there. There was 2 girls who come in there. And I'm not saying they were, but they looked like a couple, the 2 girls. There was 3 or 4 kids in that buggy. And 2 ladies right there with them. Now, why couldn't, and they came together, why couldn't one of those ladies sat in the car with those kids and kept them in the car? That way there's less chance by just that woman going in, one woman going in. But, yeah, bring your entire family to the store, all running around the whole store. Yep. Like I'm having people, I'll be at the grocery store and I'm sitting there looking, trying to find some bread on the aisle. And people are scavenging it, like there's no tomorrow, like it's an apocalypse. I mean, just ravaging it. And I'm having to sit there and really look to see if there's any kind that we can use, even if it's getting hamburger buns and using that for sandwiches. Trying to find something you can use. And people are walking right by you and speaking to you as they're walking by you like there's nothing going on, like nothing's happened. Like none of this has came along. And I'm like, hey, or if it's a lady, just tipping my hat like that at them. Because, I was raised a gentleman. If a lady walks by you and she speaks to you, even if you're not going to speak, you can at least acknowledge them by doing the gentlemanly little hat tip. That way they know you heard them. And this right here isn't getting me infected. Tipping my hat at somebody's not getting me infected. Yeah, man, I went to, like I said, I went to Walmart like a week and 1 day ago. No TP, not even a roll. I went online and checked Walmart.com. Most of the Walmarts were out. I went on Dollar General. Not any of the Dollar Generals. There's 3 in my vicinity. Not any of them were showing any TP. Now, the toilet paper might be there because Dollar General is not exactly known for updating their online part. Because I've gone in there before and they say they didn't have no sodas and walked into Dollar General and there'd be 2 and 3 cases of different kinds of sodas sitting around. So, you never know. Woman here tried to return a cart full of TP and they turned her down. Yeah, I mean, if you go and you check, if you've gone online and checked every Dollar General in your area, which is 3 in my town, and none of those 3 is what it said. Now, if that's true, I mean, come on. And then I went to Walmart, none there. It's very unlikely that you're going to go to Piggly Wiggly, which is a grocery store in our town, and a little Save More. Very unlikely you're going to find it at either one of those. But I'm going by places and I'm looking at the amount of people piled into these places, and I'm going, y'all not paying any of this any attention. Y'all don't think nobody's going to get sick. And my gloves that my girlfriend ordered me and my mask, they got delayed. So they're not here yet. So that's got me kind of really worried because, you know, the more people get it, the more chance there is of you getting it. And you go running into Walmart, even if you're doing this when you're, you know, in there, you know, walking by people or doing this instead of speaking to them, it's hard not to, you know, get something in the air. But they say, you know, all you got to worry about is somebody within 6 feet of you. But have you ever walked down a grocery store aisle, especially like the bread aisle, when people really want bread? There ain't no staying no 6 feet apart. It's not going to happen. And the lady says when they open the doors at 7 o'clock, there'll be 20 and 30 people already parked in the parking lot coming up to the door as soon as they open the door. Yeah. It's got nothing to do with your bum, as the English would say. Nothing to do with your bum. 100% to do with respiration area. Makes it hard to breathe on you. And it makes it where you cough a lot. You get like a dry cough. Where you just cough for seem like no reason. Makes it hard for you to breathe. And they say you get a fever. But I ain't heard of no diarrhea from it. You know. And I don't care what anybody says. I don't see folding toilet paper up and trying to put that over your face. But I mean, there's so many people saying what you can put over your face now. You don't know who to believe and who not to believe. But I'm still waiting on my mask. Because I wouldn't be, my mask and the gloves are here. I wouldn't be worried at all. Because I'm not going to hang around 20, 30, 40 people. Oh, let me go in Walmart. Let me go back here in the fishing section and see if I can stand back here with 20 other shoppers and try to hunt through lures right now. No. I'll just wait until it starts slacking off again. There's a video of a guy that cut eye holes in an adult diaper and put it on his head. Wow. Wow, I'm trying not to laugh too hard. But wow, that's just messed up. Now, because I've got my usual suspects on here that are normally on my talks. Last week, recap from last week. The county I live in, 25 cases, 1 death. That was last week now. I'm going to update it. 25 cases, 1 death. County above me, 39 cases, 2 dead. County below me, 15 cases, no dead. Now we're updating it. They had 1,083 confirmed cases in South Carolina, 22 deaths. Now they updated South Carolina. There's 2,232 cases, 48 deaths so far in a week's time. It doubled the amount of confirmed cases, and the deaths tripled. Well, actually, a little over doubled. So the deaths doubled or a little bit over doubled in a week. The confirmed cases went over double in a week. All right, our town went from 25 last week and 1 dead. Our county is now 58 and 2 dead. Okay. Yeah. We had 25 confirmed cases in our county and 1 death last week when I did my talk, because I checked the listing an hour before the talk. In 1 week, it went from 25, 1 death, 25 confirmed cases to 58 confirmed cases, 2 dead. The county above me went from 39 confirmed cases and 2 dead last week to 90 confirmed cases, more than doubling, and 3 deaths. And that little old county below me that only had 15 cases last week, they went from 15 cases and no deaths to 52 cases and no deaths in 1 week. So less than 20 cases a week ago, and now they got 52 cases. So everyone, the county above me, the county below me, and my county have went double, basically, of what they had a week ago. So they're talking like it's gone up by like 300% in some of the counties in 1 week. My sister's telling me to be safe. She lives in a different part of South Carolina, but they've only got like 5 confirmed cases where she lives. And she's telling me to be safe because it appears that I'm in one of the biggest hot zones in this part of South Carolina. So, but yeah, I mean, come on. To go from 39 cases to 58 cases in 7 days, 15 cases to 52 cases. Another one goes up from like 40 cases up to 90 cases. Yeah, it's because they're doing more testing, and but the reason the cases are going up so much too is because all these dumb people going into Walmart, taking 4 and 5 kids with them, and let's go shopping. Man, I've been wanting to replace that 32-inch with a 54-inch. Now's the perfect day to do it. Let me go get that TV today. I can't wait till May, when stuff might start subsiding or something. Let me go right now in the middle of this. Yeah, I mean, it even put schools out. And you got to wonder if they're going to try to come back on and start up during the actual summer months to try to make kids make up for what they missed part of, or if they're just going to go ahead and be a no-go for the rest of the year. Or they're just going to go ahead and call school and you start back up next year where you left off. Because I know they had talked about it one time. If the virus went away and was out of here by, say, like May, end of April to May. They thought about making kids come back for part of the summer to finish up what they missed. You know, kind of like making up snow days. But I don't know how that's going to work out. But yeah, I saw that today for the first time about the governor, Henry McMaster's, saying work or home. He put the order into effect. But now he did give you the right to go out and exercise as long as you're not caught within 6 foot of anybody other than your own family. Now, he did allow for you to go visit family members in need. Like if you got a family member that can't get out and go do stuff, you could take them stuff. You won't get in trouble for that. Because you could tell them, look, I looked at the rules and it said I could go. I got a family member that don't drive, so I got to take them some supplies. I guess you can get away with it from that. But like me, my girlfriend's disabled. I'm the only one here in the house that drives. So I've got to go out. If we can't order it online and get it delivered, then I have to go out to get what we need for the house because she can't. So I hope people wake up and smell the roses. I mean, literally. I mean, come on. Don't go to your buddy's house and have a barbecue with your buddy right now. It's just not a good time. Hey man, come on over to the house. We'll watch some movies tonight. That might not be the best idea right now. We got some on the next road over. 3, 4, 5 guys gathering up at one house, and all of them's kids are all there together. Now you don't know who might have had that. If one of those people have it, pretty much everybody in that group that they just hung around with is going to get it. They're hanging out together because they normally hang out together. But you don't know because they say a lot of times it can take up to 14 days for the symptoms to hit you. And if it could take for almost up to 2 weeks for it to hit you, you think you're fine. You go visit friends. You hang out with them for a couple hours, grilling out with them, watching a movie or something in their house, playing with the kids out in the yard. And then you go back home and you find out, oops, one of them had it. Now you just possibly took it back home with you. That's like my next door neighbor. She come out in the backyard. I talked to my next door neighbor and I talked to my neighbor behind me, but I don't go over to their house. She come out the back door and was talking to me, and I had my dogs out there walking them. And she started into the edge of the woods and stayed there because there's an empty wooded lot between my place and her place. And she got into the edge of the woods so she could hear me a little better. And I stood right there near the woods so I could hear her better. But we didn't go like this and try to talk. We were more than 6 feet away for sure. And there was a stray cat coming out of the woods. I was like, well, I got to get on out of here, get these dogs on back in the house. Because I didn't want the cat getting nowhere near my dogs or the dogs getting loose from me and trying to get after that cat. Now that they're saying, you know, that tiger at that one zoo got it. You know, if tigers are testing positive for it, I don't want my dogs nowhere near them. But, yeah, it's a little messed up for sure. When you go into Walmart, it kind of looks like a zombie apocalypse has hit the country when you go down the bread aisle, any kind of bread, where you're trying to get hot dog buns, hamburger buns, bread. And it don't matter whether you're getting whole wheat, white, or you're getting like a honey wheat. 95% of it is pretty much always gone when you get there. You go back to the toilet paper aisle, and all you see is a couple of boxes of looks like Kleenexes sitting back there, and maybe some paper towels. That's about all you're seeing. I guess if it stays like this, people are going to have to be cutting up some old clothes they don't want. I mean, to be honest, got a couple old shirts you don't want. Oh, well, I guess they're going to go to the cause. I mean, I ain't trying to be nasty or anything. I'm just being honest. The way it's looking right now. Okay, let me get back up here. I missed this. Wishing I was fishing. I saw one guy had a tampon strapped to his face. Wow. Either he really just had a potty mouth or he was really going extreme to try to protect himself. But yeah, man, I mean, I'm waiting on the mask to show up and the gloves that are supposed to be sterile and made to prevent, where you can't. These gloves are supposed to be able to kill off germs and stuff like that. The stuff that's in the gloves and everything. So they're really supposed to be good gloves. So I was waiting on them to come, waiting on the mask to come, but they're not going to make it in time. I'm going to have to do at least one more Walmart run without the mask, for sure. Now, for that part, I could throw on a pair of my ATV gloves that I'll wear when I ride my ATV I got. I could throw them on, and that would be better than no gloves, okay, to be honest. But the mask part, they say, oh, just go out and get you a handkerchief and hook some, rubber bands to it and put it around your ear like that, and that's better than nothing. Yes, that might be true. But that means you got to go into that store, into that crowd of people that you're trying to stay away from without any protection to try to get that protection. Because I can understand taking a bandana, folding it a couple times, bringing it across right here, and then right here, putting your rubber bands right here and bringing it around your ear and fixing it where it'll stay up there. I can understand that. But now there probably ain't no rubber bands in the stores. People probably done bought all them up and went in there and bought every handkerchief in the store. A lot of it's hoarding. They're not buying it because they're definitely going to need it. They're buying it, PH. What's up, my friend? Hope you're okay there. We've been talking about this coronavirus. And I was telling everybody that Governor Henry McMaster of South Carolina put us in a work or home mode. They say the material from HEPA filter vacuum bags are being made into masks. Yeah, man. We, in the town I live in, the county I live in, it went from 25 confirmed cases last week. 7 days later, 58 cases. And that's just in 7 days. Now, for my fishing guys, got me some fishing line. Fishing rod. Fishing line and a cheap fishing rod. To put that on. I bought new fishing line. I haven't opened it yet to go on this reel. And I bought an El Cheapo, being honest. An El Cheapo rod off of eBay. But it Like I said, it is an El Cheapo. But the thing is, I was able to get a $299 3-year warranty on it. I got to grab my. To be honest, fishing with PH, it was just a no name. I just typed in casting rod, found one, and ordered one cheap. So, as long as it's not broke, to be honest, I didn't care. Now, it might not be worth the crap, but we'll find out, won't we? But considering, oh, look at this. A little nice bag to keep it in. And then you can tie it up. Protective bag. Whoa, ain't we special? I've never had one come in a bag like that, but I guess that's how they ship it in that. There's the first part of it. There's the second part of it. Now, it even has the lure catch right there, hook catch for putting your lure right there. Now, enhanced graphite is what it says. I don't know how enhanced it is, but yeah, you're right. Wishing I was fishing 73. You would definitely think it's better than what I had. Oh, and it's also got that opened up right there. So you can, when you put your hand up there, you can feel the vibration through the rod when something's tugging on your line. See? None of my other reels have that. I mean, none of my other rods have that. It's an El Cheapo. It's a not sure. I'll put it up here and try to see if y'all can see the name. Looks like TJONEAR. And there's what it says, graphite. Now, you asked what it was. It is a medium. That's all it says is medium. Line weight is 6 to 15 pounds. Lure weight is 1 ounce, 1/8 ounce to 3/4 ounce. So 1/4, 1/8 to 3/4 is about what it'll do. To me, it feels like, just a regular medium, or it could be a medium light. But yeah, the rod, really light in the hand. Let's see. Two fingers. Yeah, really light. But I couldn't, at the time, they had sold out of their 6 foots. And the reason I was going to go with 6 is because being on the kayak. There you go. Now I got it all put together. This is a 5.9. So I wanted at least a 6, but it's a 5.9, and it was cheap. And for just putting that other bait caster on there, I mean, come on. It's an antique bait caster. I'm pretty sure that antique bait caster is not going to complain about being put on this rod. And to me, it'll be something to use. My only 2 bait casting rod is a 2-piece. So I wanted a 1-piece. I love my St. Croix rods. So I ordered a St. Croix Triumph 6-foot. Cool. Now, but one reason I ordered this rod, another reason I liked it, is the color goes with anything. A gray rod would go with anything. Well, I found a 6'6" that I wanted to get, but it was Zebco, and you had to drive there to pick it up, and it was like 3.5 hours away. It was a 6.5 foot medium action, and it was a Zebco rod, but it was bright orange. And I'm like, first of all, I'm not driving over 3 hours to go pick it up because they wouldn't ship it. So never mind. But if you look on this, I got lucky. It's gray, black, and it's got red accents. Yeah. That's why I'm going to try to stick with my 6 foot and not go no higher than 6.5. But I will say, when you're sitting on a kayak, a 5-foot rod is a pain in the booty, pain in the butt. When it comes to setting the hook is easy. You get 5 foot and smaller, when you're sitting down, they're not as good for setting the hook. To me, in my opinion. That's my experience. Because I sat out there on that kayak, and when I would catch them, I know I missed as many as I caught. That day out there fishing, I missed as many as I caught because I was sitting in the kayak, and I had like a little telescoping little 4.5, 5 foot. And when I'd go to set the hook, I'd miss just as many as I would catch. Now I'm going to bring out the fishing line. But my longest rod that I've got is a 6.5 foot. That's that one that I got the Abel Garcia on. I got the Abel Garcia on it because it's an Abel Garcia rod. It was a 6.5 foot Abel Garcia rod that I already had. And I'm like, well, I'll just put this Abel Garcia reel on there and go with that. Now, I set the hook crazy hard, too much force, and most of the time. Yeah, my girlfriend used to tell me that when I go fishing. I tell everybody, don't stand behind me and don't stand directly beside me if you don't want to get hooked or you don't want to get hit. Because when I snatch back, I might be ripping lips off the fish as I'm snatching back. And all you see is a hook flying and a rod smacking you in the face. That's just what I went with. Trilene. Extra tough. It's a super strong. 14-pound test is what I decided on. So this will be the thickest line I'm fishing with, other than my spider wire on my catfishing setup. This will be the thickest that I'm using. I got 12-pound on that the Abel Garcia. I got 12-pound on it. This one's going to run 14 pound on it. And I went with the low vis green. I figured that low visibility green would be easier to see when you're tying it up, when you're tying on stuff. But then I don't worry about seeing it once it hits the water. I'm not really worried about that. But that's my next thing to do is get this reel spooled up. Get this reel here, get it spooled up real soon, and then get it put on that new rod. That way I can get a test out of it, see what it's going to do. But so yeah, I got my line for it, and I got my rod for it. And like I said, I do have a fishing hole right here at me that they haven't done nothing about yet because, you know, the land over here is actually private. We have a pier. It's about a block and a half away, maybe 2 blocks away from my house, that we can fish around and fish off of. But you can only fish that spot if you live in this place. So I'm good if I stay down in here. I don't have to worry about it. But yeah, the other lakes or other parts of this lake, I might would get in trouble. But I would use that. I'm out exercising. I would use that and be like, hey, this is my exercise. Especially if I put the kayak in the water. I can say, I'm out here kayaking. And I figured while I was out here kayaking, exercising, I'd throw out and see if I could catch me some supper. Just say it that way and see what they'll do. Be sure you got enough line. That reel looks like it holds 2 of those. Yeah, catch some fish for food. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They come up, I can be like, look, I was out here kayaking, which is my exercise, but I'm also trying to catch some fish for supper because I ain't got no food at the house. And they'll probably be like, all right, just be safe. I also have an order on soft plastic turtle baits to try out. Oh, look at you, massive. Going to buy my first kayak soon. Good to hear it, my friend. Now, there's a mod. There's at least one more mod I still have to do to my kayak. Haven't done it yet. One reason is this virus mess came up, and I don't really see the sense in putting myself at risk. You know, tie on peanut, catch chipmunks. If I still have my old 410, I could just go hunting squirrel. I used to hunt squirrel all the time. But I haven't hunted them in years. I hunted them back when I was married to my first wife. Well, see, you got that one thing you did at the back of yours. I haven't had a chance to get out to get the parts that I'm going to need to make mine, because mine's going to be homemade. You know, what was the mod? I'm going to be doing a stabilizer at the back behind the seat, right behind the seat and right there where the crate area is. I'm going to be putting a stabilizer and have like buoys on each side. That way it doesn't tip over if I hook a fish and I lean to one side. It's got those buoys to help give it more flotation, more buoyancy, as they say. What I'm doing is I'm doing a do-it-yourself build. Mine's going to be 2-liter bottles, the foam that you squirt in cracks and holes to fill it in, that thick foam that you can buy in the can, and you just squirt it. It sprays and then it spreads out when you put it out. I'm going to get some cans of that. and you're going to fill up the 2-liter bottle. And then I'm going to hook it all to PVC. And then the PVC and all is going to be mounted. One section of it's going to be mounted behind my seat. Make sure you make it strong. I seen one guy, he made it weak. He made it weak. The PVC pipe broke and it made him flip right over. Well, at least I got my life vest on. But I understand what you're saying. My idea is to, for one, is to put it behind my seat, right there behind where the weight is tied on the kayak, right there before you get to the crate. That's my original idea. It is to come out about this far on each side of the kayak with the pipe that's on the kayak, just about that far. That'll be that much. And then I'm going to have an attachment that comes onto the kayak, and it brings on the next part that comes down and goes down to the actual 2-liter bottles. There will be 4 2-liter bottles. You'll have a T on each end of the pipes. And on that T, 2-liter bottle will come up to that T on each side of that T and connect to it. And then you'll have that foam inside of them. Possibly could. But you also add more weight onto the boat. And if you're trying to tote it, from your vehicle to the water, that would make it worse. I plan on trying to record at least parts of it. I may not record every minute of it. Like I may show you one day where I've took the 2-liter bottles, peeled the labels off of them, and maybe I've already spray painted them a color. Because I'm not going to leave them clear. I'm either going to paint them like I think I've got a little bit of mint green paint left over. A mint kind of green. It's the only thing I could find close to the neon green boat at the time. I got a little bit of mint green left. I may just try to put a light coat on all 4 bottles once I pull the labels off of them. Rinse them out with water. Go ahead and get them ready like that. I probably won't show me rinsing them out with water, cleaning them out, me peeling the labels off of them. I probably won't show me painting them. I'll just show them after I've done painting them and tell everybody, hey, these are 4, Walmart brand sodas. They were Sam's Choice, where you get them for like 65 cents, a 2-liter. Kind of like that. But in a 2-liter version. And it'd be a clear 2-liter bottle, and I just paint them green. And then spray the foam up in there. Now, I may show that. Me spraying the foam up in there. But part of me says wait to paint them after I get the foam in. That way I can kind of let it, see it expanding, see how much more I need to spray in there. Whereas if I paint them to green, I'm not going to be able to see in the bottle when I'm spraying down in there like this, and I can't see it coming up and trying to come out as easily. But if I leave them clear, peel the cover off of them that says what kind of soda they are, and just leave them clear, spray down in there, I can watch it come up and expand and fill it up. That way when I know when it's about full. And then you just cut off any of the overage. Yeah. After I sit there and set it, it makes more sense. Spray the foam in first. Just peel the label off. That way you got a clear view of the whole bottle. Wash it out. Make sure it ain't got no soda left in there to make sure nothing's going to mess with the foam. Spray the foam in there. Let it fill up. And what little bit comes out the edge, take your knife and cut that off so you can put the cap back on. I've heard a lot of people put the cap on with just a little bit of glue. That way they make sure it stays on, and then they hook it into the pipe. And then you put the glue around the pipe, shove it up in there on each side. Yeah, it's possible. Now, if I was going to do something like that, I probably wouldn't show the boring part of me drilling the hole in the butt of it. I would just tell people, hey, I also put a hole in the bottom of this. But I don't know whether I'll put the release hole. Most people aren't using 2-liter bottles. Most people are doing the PVC and the boat things that you can buy to hook on the side of your boats. You fill them up with air, and they're rubber. You add a little bit of air to them, and they're a rubber, and it fills them up. And that you tie them onto the side of your boats. They're like bumper pads for when you pull up to a pier to tie up. You have those hanging over the side of your boat. So if you pull up to a side of the pier with like a rail or something, it doesn't scratch your boat or anything like that. I've seen those at Walmart. You can buy those like in those floatable buoys that you can fill with air. The rubber looking ones, the white ones. I've seen those. Those are like $25 or $30 for the bigger ones for each one. Now you can get the small ones about like this. I think they're about $15 a pop. But you figure $15 a pop, that's $60 just for those. And then if you go buy the supplies, the PVC, the glue and everything, you done spent what Fishing with PH spent to buy the whole set with the inflatable ones. Well, close. You figure if you go buy, I'm talking about if you go buy the ones from Walmart. If you go buy those buoys that you can put out across a boundary in your yard where you don't want boats to come up in your water near your pier, and you're letting people know, hey, it's real shallow here, and you put those buoys around. They sell those at Walmart for about $15 a pop for the small ones. Well, you figure if you buy 4 of those, that's $60 there. By the time you add the PVC and the glue and everything on there, you're already at like $80, $90. You just about might as well buy yours. Then all you got to do is put it together, basically with a drill and some screws, and then add the air, carry a pump with you, and add air to the flotation parts when you get there. You know, and as long as you don't run it on shore with them out, you ain't got to worry about really popping them that easy. Now, that's the biggest thing about the inflatable cloth ones. If you run your kayak all the way back up onto the bank, and if they come across something while you're going up to the bank, you can pop one of them unless you undo it and just, undo them right as you're getting right up towards the bank into the shallows. But not many people are going to do that. Most people are going to, come all the way up to where they can get out the kayak, and they're still going to have them back there. Oh, you don't even need a pump, just your mouth. Cool. I mean, that makes it even easier. Now they are quick release. The pontoon part, just them. Can you pull off just them, or do you have to take off the whole assembly from behind you to get them? They aren't tarpon. They are thick and have a real thick extra wall across the bottoms. Oh, they got the cones protective cone stuff at the front and rear, and then the bottom's got an extra layer. Okay. Now, somebody told me at Walmart they had the small ones on sale at different times. They're about the size of what yours are. They're the small ones you could get. You could get these, and that you inflate them. You could get these for like $10 a piece. And I'm like, well, even on sale, $10 a piece. If you're going to put one on this end and one on this end, like this, that's still $40 for them. You'd end up spending about $60. So yeah, that'd be way cheaper than that. But that's why I like the 2-liter bottle idea. Because come on, it's cheap. If it breaks on you, you ain't throwed away much money, and you've only got to fix the part that if you didn't lose it, then all you got to fix is the part that broke. You can take the floats off with pins from the pipe, but I am just leaving them on the pipe, deflating them. They are light and easy to transport. Cool. Well, see, my idea is that bar will be behind the seat. run across like this and be hooked down to the boat. And then it will have a section, like a coupler comes up on it, and the other pipe will come into that heads down. It will be like at an angle like that, not quite 45 degrees, but at an angle, and that's where the pipe will come down from it and head down to the water, towards the water and towards the floats. But I plan on drilling a hole all the way through that section, that bend right there, so I can put me like a pin through there and have them locked in place when I'm out on the water. And then as I come up to the bank, I can just reach back there, pull that pin out on both sides, take the two of them off, and lay them up in the boat. Step out the front of the boat, off the side of the boat, pull the boat up to the bank. You know, you can see how they work in my kayak video for the stabilizers when I installed them. Yeah, I saw yours. You went further at the back because you didn't want it to interfere with your rod when you're throwing out. I saw that. A lot of people go closer right behind the seat. They do that so that way it's more in line with, giving the whole boat stability. But, hey, to each their own. I understand why you went where you went, further back. You went back behind where you got the crate at. You went back there with the bar. I seen the black bar going across. You went further back. Me, I was talking about in between the seat, the back of the seat, and where the crate is with mine, going across right there, and then putting them out there. Because 90% of the time, I throw at an angle towards the front, like this. They slide in a rail. No, always unscrewing nuts and bolts and stuff all the time. Hey, I understand that. Yours is a simplified version of a nice setup for $100. Mine is going to be a do-it-yourself version, Yeah. So you did it because of getting away when you paddle. True. The further back you put them, the further they are out of your way. But if you put them behind your seat, I'm just saying they make it a little more stable. Because think about it, you got them on each side of you, right here, and you do this, they're right there for you. Further back, is a little more buoyancy for back there. Not quite as good for you, but I understand that. Yeah. That might be the trick to keep them out of the way of the paddle. What I'll have to do is I'll have to take my paddle since I'm short. I'm a short guy. I'm only 5'4". And what I'll have to do is look and see. Yeah, I'm about to look and see if I'm paddling about what my normal paddle stroke would take me back, and see more where I want to put them. Yeah, they may get in the way, but I doubt at the very back of the boat, unless you got long arms and taking really long strokes, like coming like this, all the way down beside the boat, they probably won't bother you. But me, I'm a short guy, so I'll be taking short strokes. But still, if I was going to have mine right behind the seat, you're right. They may get right in my way right there. What I may have to do is slide them a little further back. Laughing out loud, just hook an RC boat on the front. Get out to where you want. Bring the boat in, cut the boat off, cut the controller off, so you save battery. Throw your anchor down, fish a little bit, pull your anchor up, turn the boat back on, turn the controller on, set it back down with the rope tied to it, send it out. Oh, boy, this is the life. Yeah, that would be the stuff. Be like a Traxxas Summit pulling people around. But yeah, man, I'm open to all ideas. No motor allowed. They did not say you could not use an RC for propelling your boat. Yeah, your boat cannot have a motor attached to it. You didn't say I couldn't bring an RC and hook it onto the front of my boat to help propel me. I could see trying to throw that out at them. Hey, man, you just said no motors, you know. I didn't bring a trolling motor. I didn't bring a gas motor. But yeah. I get definitely why you put yours back there now. I wasn't sure whether you put it back there for fishing purposes or for that when you're paddling. So now I get why you put it back that far, because you got to worry about that when you're doing that stroke back. But now if you just do little short strokes, you could have come a little bit further forward. So I may have to go a little bit further back than what I was originally thinking, because the way mine were going to be, you figure a 2-liter bottle is, let's figure, about like that. And you figure 2 of them, one on each side of the pipe. That's going to be, a good couple feet. That's probably going to be, almost as long as my arm. So you figure that much hanging out on each side. You got half of it coming to the front, half of it headed to the back. It's just those front two that you got to worry about. Man, from the beginning of winter working on the kayak, could not wait to try it. And now this virus messed everything up. The only thing I'm lucky about is I can launch mine down here in this lake, and they shouldn't be able to say anything because the launching spot is private. Nobody's supposed to be able to come down here and go fishing except for the people that live here. So technically, and I haven't seen anybody saying, hey, all lakes are closed here so far. But I figure all the state parks are. That's under government control, so the state parks are closed. But I don't know about this lake here. Ain't nobody said nothing. I've been hearing about people fishing. I even had my next door neighbor. She asked me, did you catch anything when you was out there? I'm like, no, not this time. I'm like, maybe next time. I said, I can't wait to get my kayak in. See if I can catch something from my kayak. Because, man, there's a spot to the left. If I could get out there in my kayak, there's a spot on down in the cove, down where you can't hardly see it from the bank. If you step out into the water, you look down, you can see it. A lot of stuff sticking out in the water. And I really want to get in the kayak and go down there and throw towards that brush and see if there's one hiding up around that brush. Yeah, I got to put it on my new Beetle, which I never did before. And I have to drive like 12 miles or more. They may pull me over when they see it. Well, it's a good thing you went with the short one, though. That makes it a little bit better for strapping onto a small car like that. You went with that little daylight, and that's only like 8 foot, 8.5 foot, something like that. So that's the good thing about having that short one. I mean, I could literally almost put yours in. Literally, I could. I could put yours in the bed of my truck, shut the tailgate, because mine's got an 8-foot bed on my truck. And yours is only like an 8-foot kayak or 8.5 foot. I could put it in the back of my truck, close the tailgate. I can't do that with my kayak. Mine's a 10. Now, I didn't get stopped coming home from Walmart when I threw my 10 up on the roof of my Subaru, my Outback. I threw it up on them. When I bought my 10-foot kayak, I threw it up on the roof of my Subaru Outback and brought it home on that. Because I happened to be at Walmart in the Subaru when I decided to buy it. And it was the last one they had in stock of that kind. And I didn't want to come home, get the truck, and go back and somebody be done bought it. So I just hauled it home with the Subaru. Yeah, just hope it don't fly off. I never did anything like this before. Only 8 foot. Now, me, to be honest, if I go out boating and they come say something to me while I'm on the water, I'm going to be respectful, but I'm going to be like, well, when I saw the alert, it said you could go outside for exercising, but to stay at least 6 feet away from other people. I'm on the lake. There's nobody within 6 feet of me where I would be at. And if anybody got near me, I would make sure that I practiced. Hey, man, make sure you stay at least 6 feet away, man. I don't want us to get in trouble since we under the lockdown. Can't be within 6 feet of each other. You know, I'd make sure no other boats got real close to me. They closed the lakes down there where you live. Wow. Well, I haven't seen a sign down here saying no fishing yet. So I would just have to play the dumb card. Man, nobody told me. I ain't seen nothing about no lakes closing. And I live at the lake. Because you remember, I showed y'all, I can walk out the front door with my tackle and be down at the lake within 5 minutes. Just cough a few times, they'll move away from you. That or either shoot me with a stun gun and carry me to the hospital. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to try to hit the lake at least one more time and then see if they run me off. You know, hey, if they come out and somebody pulls down there and says, hey, man, you can't be here. We've closed these lakes. Nobody can fish them. Well, sir, I didn't know. And it says, you know, by the rule of the lockdown, it says we can get out for exercise. I'm out here kayaking and fishing. 2 good forms of exercise. I live in this subdivision. So I wouldn't even be leaving the subdivision. That's why I think I got a better chance of getting away with it. As long as I don't leave this subdivision. I just repainted a Rapple account down a while ago. Did a custom job on it. I finally spotted some of your Kiteks at our Walmart about 2 weeks ago when the virus stuff first started in this area. I actually saw some Kiteks in Walmart. Had never seen no Kitek stuff in Walmart in the whole, basically the whole year I've been living here. And now finally starting to see them carry it. But yeah, man, it's rough. I definitely want to get me some of that dipping stuff to dip your lures in. I definitely want to get some of that. I've been seeing some guys on YouTube wearing them out with the dip. Can't see you getting bugged about it. Yeah, man, I'm trying to stay chilled as much as I can. They are awesome lures, but very weak and flimsy. That's what I don't like about them. Yeah, I forgot what it was. I watched somebody fishing with something on YouTube about 3 days ago. And he was showing the Yum version. Oh, yes. What is it? Correct me if I'm wrong. What's the weird name? It's a Japanese, Chinese name. Yokohama. It's a like a worm. And then somebody was fishing the Yum version of Yamato. Yeah, the Yamatos will charge you some $8 for a pack. And one fish hits them, they're destroyed. Whereas you can buy the Yum, the same color, same exact looking bait, for like a third of the price. And 5 and 6 fish can hit it before it tears it up. The action's just a little better, they said, on the Yamato. But Yeah, the Yamatos, man. The Cincos, yeah. Gary Yamato Cinco. This guy, he fishes all the time. And he says, I love them, but I hate them. And that's why I hate them. He said, because, man, you put out some money for them things if you're going to fish for bass. And that's all you're fishing for. And you got a bunch of, and you bring them with you. And you only got, like, say, 1 or 2 packs with you. He said, you'll go through the packs you got with you. And you'll be done fishing if that's all you can catch them on. Because you done used them all. Yeah, they pack them with a garlic salt and stuff. And it makes them where they ain't as durable. Whereas the Yum versions are way better as far as durability. The Yum versions are way better, but they're not quite as good to attract them. I have to try those Z-Man shads. I haven't never tried those. You can't mix the Z stuff with normal baits or everything melts. You get like 50 fish per plastic. Which plastics are you talking about? New Z-Man has to stay in the pouch it comes in. So you got to keep them in the pouch it comes in or it'll degrade or degrade your other lures. So Z-Man got to stay in the pouch it comes in. Well, I would just unzip that compartment at the top of my tackle box and put it up in that part if I had Z-Man ones then. Even if I rigged one up, I'd still drop him back down in there, or pull the part off. I made my own with those Fusion X lure molds. I tried them out. They worked awesome. But yeah, I got to get some other. I don't have any Yums. I don't have any of those types. I don't have any Cincos. I caught about 80 fish off one plastic Z-Man TRD hog. Wow. Well, what's your take on Googan baits? Are they as good as they claim to be or crap? Yum Christy Crawl is amazing. I'll definitely look into that one then. Because Walmart's got the Yum ones like crazy. Have either one of y'all ever used the Googan Squad baits? And if so, what do y'all think about Googan Squad? Don't last, huh? Because of the salt they're packed with. Yum shads, the jerk bait's great too. Yeah, I'm going to have to get me some Yum. I had never fished with them. And then when we moved here, I started seeing them in Walmart a lot the time we got here. I'm like, I've never tried those. I want to try them. And then when I saw that guy do the fishing competition between the Yamato, Cincos and the Yum ones, I was like, well, I definitely want to try them now because they're in my price point. Well, I don't mind them being scented. I don't mind that they may not last as long as a regular rubber worm would. But as long as they last a little bit longer than a, Yamato, I don't want something that's going to fall apart after 2 hits. Caught a 4.5 pound largemouth bass on a black and blue Googan Bandito bug the other day. I heard those are really killer. I heard that's one of the most popular Googan baits is the Bandito bug. I heard it's one of the best. Whether you run it behind a jig as a trailer or whether you just Texas rig it. I heard it was one of the best Googan Squad baits you could get is the Bandito bug. It was one of their best. Lake Fort baits are awesome. They smell like garlic pizza. That's why I want to get me some of that dip. The different kind of scent dips and stuff like that. Because I watched this one guy, he used the dip stuff. He got out there with trout magnets. Little bitty trout magnets. put a cork on there so he could throw them out worth of crap. And this guy caught, I know, 20 or more fish. And this was brim and bass. Caught more than 20 fish in like an hour. I mean, or less than an hour. He was just wearing them out. And he decided to go because the weather was starting to look a little rough. And he was putting a little bit of the garlic. He'd squirt a little bit on them, rub it on the rubber part of the body. And they were trout magnet jigs with a little rubber body. And he'd slide the body up on there, put a little bit of that garlic dip on there, rub it around, toss it out there, and then just kind of let it sit there for a couple seconds. He'd reel it 2 or 3 times, let it sit there a couple seconds, and next thing you know, you'd see the cork under. And I mean, he was catching these big old brim like this. He caught a couple of bass about like that. So I definitely want to get me some scents. But I want some that I know is going to stay in the container. That's got either got a lid that screws good shut on it, or it's got the thing that opens at the top when you close it down. Either that or put it in a Ziploc bag, because I don't want it leaking into the tackle box. Those spike it markers are awesome, and they have garlic scent also. Easy to bring with you and no spilling. Yeah. Yeah, you told me about those, and I do want to try those. Especially if you want to try to change the color up a little bit. If you're out there and you got, say, a couple of different markers with you, you can just put a little bit like on the trailer. Like you got a jig you're throwing and you're running a trailer on it. You could color just the back half of the tail with the marker and then throw it out there. That way it gives it a little bit of scent at the back. Plus it changes the color a little bit. Like say if you go out there on a day when the water's a little bit darker and you want to change it to a color that they can see better, you use one color. Or if you're out there on a day and you got one of those on, you can change it up. I seen a test done with garlic and it made no difference with bass. Axe body spray outperformed the garlic. You guys in the States still use the Money Hound, or is it just a phase? I've actually never used one. Guy, I swear WD-40 works. Personally, the Yum Dinger, my most popular plastic. Like I said, I've heard a lot of guys swear by the Yum Dingers. I've heard a lot of guys swear by the Crawl. And I've heard a lot of guys swear by the Bandito Bug. The Bandito Bug, Yum Dingers, most of the Cincos, get a lot of action. And putting it on a trailer doesn't hurt either. Using it as a trailer doesn't hurt. But I think I'm going to try some of the Yums. Will probably be the first ones I try as far as that. Personally, the Yum Dinger, my fishing with PH, Yum Houdini Shad. I like that. Yum Houdini Shad. Now, last time I was down there, when I said I messed up and did a rookie noob mistake, had my camera down there, thought I was filming the fishing, and forgot to take the cover off. This was last week, right before I did the Tuesday talk. It was like Monday, last Monday. Went down there, fished for 2 hours, thought I was recording, using all them wish.com lures. Didn't record nothing but sound for 2 hours. So I just deleted all that, and then I talked about it on my Tuesday chat on Tuesday. I made fun of myself for doing a new rookie mistake with my new camera. Well, I actually used my chatterbait. Love the way that thing swims in the water with a trailer on it. I used my chatterbait, and I put me a white trailer on it, like a 3-inch. Looks good in the water. Swims good in the water. But I just didn't catch anything. Just wasn't that day I wasn't in the right spot, or it wasn't the right thing that they wanted. Oh well. But yeah, I felt about this big when I got home. Because I did not realize it until I got home. What it was is it had rained the day before, and the ground was really slippery. So I had this cover on to go down there because I was afraid if I fell, I might land on it and break it. So I put the cover on it to try to help protect the screen, the lens. Well, I go all the way down there. I get to thinking about what I'm going to throw out first, because I had 3 rod and reels with me. I'm like, which one I'm going to throw out first? And so I just turn it on, hit record, and I start throwing them. And I'm going through telling everybody what I'm fishing, what I'm going to try next, I think, blah, 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 blah. And I ended up using like 4 of the ones that come in the first 7 that I bought. And then I used that one rubber body that I bought separately. So I ended up trying like 5 different ones. What's up, Tank RC? Hope everybody's okay in your neck of the woods over in Canada. But now that you're talking about it, I used a bunch of different ones. Didn't get any hits as far as I know. Didn't catch anything. But then I decided, screw it. I'm done with wish.com lures for the day. I'm going to go over to something else. But first, let me tell you, the frog from wish.com was crap. Threw it out 2 times and it started sinking. Those GoPro lenses are very strong. I dropped my... Yeah, but being that it's the first one I've ever owned, I was worried I might break it. I had the lens cap on and just did a rookie mistake. Forgot to take it off. Well, I'm glad to hear your family's good. I forgot to take the lens cap off. Shot all that footage and didn't have nothing but volume and a black screen. So I came home and just deleted all that. And then last Tuesday, when I did the live chat, I told everybody what I did, the mistake I made, told them about the coronavirus and how it was doing here. You will break the lens. You will break before the lens if you fall. Okay. Put it this way. Next time, I'll be looking for that. That'll be the first thing I do when I get down to the water, if I'm fishing from the bank, is I'll look down and make sure that cap's off when I get ready to turn it on. But I sat there and used like 4 or 5 of the Wish lures. The frog sucked though. The frog, 2 throws. And after the second throw, it started sinking. Throw it out there and you look, and the very top part of the frog is the only thing sitting up out of the water. Right there where you tie it onto your line. That part's sticking up out of the water, and the rest of the frog's done sunk. Then you got to bring it in to squeeze all the water out so you can cast it out again. I took that off, changed to a different lure. Like I said, I fished about 4 or 5 lures. Didn't catch anything. That was the main lure that did not perform, was the frog. It sunk after 2 throws. Wanted to sink, except for the very top of it where you tie it up at. So, not worth a crap to me. I decided to throw on a lipless crankbait. $18 crankbait. You found it while fishing. Hey, sometimes you just get lucky. I'm hoping being out on the boat this year on that kayak, I'm hoping I'm going to get lucky. And when I'm going, going around the brush area and stuff up near banks, I'm hoping maybe I can find some lures, maybe hung in a piece of branch or something. Maybe find something worth getting. Never hurts to look. But yeah, man, I tied on one of the lipless ones. I tied on that small shad. I went with the small shad this time. Threw it out. Didn't get no hits on it. By then, I'd already been down there like 2.5 hours. And I decided just to call it a day. I still haven't tried the frog I bought from Walmart. I've got to try it yet to see if it's any good. If not, then I'm upgrading to either a booyah. People say the booyahs are good. Or a lunker hunt. But the lunker ones I heard are more expensive than the booyahs. Like those new lunker hunt spiders. I had to put a little styrofoam in their butt to keep it floating right, though. KVD frog is great. I do want to try at least one of the little more pricier frogs. I'm not saying really expensive. Like, I've got the Ozark Trail Walmart brand one. I still got to test it out and see if it at least floats, and doesn't sink. And then if it sinks as well, I'll throw it probably away, and I'll probably throw away the Wish.com frog because I know it sinks. And then I'll probably maybe try a booyah or something like that. Maybe upgrade a little bit, Just get one that works like it's supposed to. And then, of course, it has a lot to do with a lot of times the color you pick underneath on the belly for the time of year it is. I mean, I can't wait to get these turtle lures. I hope they work. Which frog did you use, PH? Said a Booyah Pad Crasher Jr. Dark frog color. Said he kills them with that. And that's what gets me. Certain lakes in certain states just aren't doing anything with frogs right now. And other lakes, people are fishing frogs right now and wearing them out with a frog. Two of them, the green looking, that looked real good with the moving legs. No good. Styrofoam, man. Try it. They put me a little styrofoam up in the booty area. Like I said, I'm gonna probably upgrade to a booyah down the road just to see. But maybe you had broken frogs, laughing out loud. Well, I know the Wish.com one was broken. I mean, kind of look where it came from. I wasn't expecting much. I mean, when you spend $1 or $2 for the frog, you don't expect as much. So at least I'm not let down too bad. And Ozark Trail one, I haven't tried it yet. Mine looks like a buzz bait coming across the water. Now that gets me. I watched a couple guys out the other day fishing, and that's what they were fishing. Buzzbait, topwater frog. Buzzbait was wearing them out. 20 bass in 2 hours. Topwater frog, maybe 4. That day. I like the smaller junior size. It works and catches much more than the larger ones. Yeah, I probably wouldn't go with a real big one. I'd probably go with something about like that. You know. I also have to try one of those spiders. They look cool. I've actually heard people say they've actually caught some good fish off of them. I like 3-inch frogs. But I want to try one of the spiders down the road. See what it might do. You know, they come out with so much stuff. You never know what's going to work, and you never know when they're going to hit it. Because like Wishing I Was Fishing 73, he said the lakes he's fishing, no bites on top water frogs. They're just not hitting that right now. But I watched other guys in like other states, they're wearing them out on frogs. So in South Carolina, top water frog just ain't doing it right now. But yet, other states just slam wearing them out with buzz baits, top water frogs, different stuff like that. Said they've been wearing them out with some of the hula poppers and stuff like that. Yeah, that's what I thought. But I found the smaller body frogs catch more and make you hook up better also. KVD Sexy Frog is probably my favorite. Frogs work underwater too. KVD is probably almost like the Booyah. They are good. Now, what's the best, not top water, but next level underwater? In other words, kind of shallow runner that goes under the water but doesn't go deep. If you just reel at a normal pace, what would you think's the next best thing? If you don't want to be on top of the water because they're not hitting top water stuff, you just want to come under the water a little bit, but you don't want to go real deep. Crankbaits. Well, I guess that's what I need to be running more of right now, because I ran chatterbait and a swim jig. Well, good. I got a little bit of that in my tackle box in. I got some swim jigs. I got that one chatterbait, and then I've got a couple of different crankbaits. So, curly tail worms, yeah. I've got one that I showed on the channel last week, a little small one for like a small bass or large brim and crappie. Wake baits. But yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. If I wanted to run deep, I could just throw a rubber worm with a weed guard, stuff like that. But I'm trying not to do any deep towards the bottom because there's so much on the bottom when you reel up. It's like you're pulling seaweed and stuff left and right. Swim it on 1/4 ounce bullet Texas rig crawl and swim it. They are also good because they are weedless. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Well, see, the weedless is good, keep you from getting hung up. But that seaweed mess, it sucks every time you throw out. You're having to pull off this much seaweed out from around your lure just to find it so you can throw it back out again. I was trying to find something that maybe I can entice a bite on that's not top water, but not running so deep. Now I could throw out one of the weedless hooks or swim bait and just throw it weightless. I've seen several guys do that, they throw it out weightless and kind of give it a little pop here and there. That way it doesn't sink fast. They throw it out and it just barely sinks because there ain't no weight there. You're talking to the weed king. Oh, yeah, man, I know about yours. I know about all the weeds and everything you be pulling out from around the fish when you do catch them. It just sucks, man, when you get out there, wacky Cinco. But because I've seen a lot of people rig up without a weight, just chunk out there, and then just give it a couple pops, reel it a couple times, couple pops, let it sit, sink down just a little bit, then they'll pop it, reel it. Like that sunfish lure live target makes just under the surface. Drop shot works great, yeah. But since I got so many, I got a couple of different crankbaits, and I've got a couple more. I've even got some smaller size ones than what I showed. I may tie on one of those. A lot of times you can get a brim to hit something smaller than it, especially if it's a big brim. Think it's coming out there like a smaller brim. I don't care what I'm catching as long as I'm catching. If I can get a hit and go, whoa, that felt like a bite, I at least feel good. Okay, had a bite. I'm still going to go fish. I don't care whether I catch anything or not. But you at least like to get a bite, and every now and then you want to catch something and say, hey, I got something today. And then let it go back if you're not going to eat it. But I'm in a slump right now because every time I've been down to this one spot, it's been nothing. Now, when I go to the spot and when I fish off the pier, every time I go to that pier, I catch something. I'm going to catch at least some brim, whether they're big enough to keep, whether they're big enough just to use for bait. I'm going to catch something there. I've never been dry at that spot. Where I took my kayak out and put it out at one spot, where I put it out twice in that one place, well, 2 or 3 times, I've always caught brim there. It's just a spot where I live. And this is all part of the same lake. So, it's just, maybe they're not that shallow at the time, because I heard this part of the lake down here in this cove is really shallow. I'm going to find out. I'm going to put my kayak out there one day. I'm going to carry my little cheap depth finder with me. I'm going to hang it over the side. Well, Tom's Hobbies, that's a good idea. I did ask a guy one day, hey, you catching them out here? And I said, do you ever catch them up in this cove? Yeah. He said, especially fishing towards the bank. But he's from the boat throwing towards the bank, and he can hit all the spots. Where I'm at, there's a lot of tree coverage over here to my left and my right, and I can't hardly throw out left or right without getting hung up. All I can do is throw straight and try to aim to the other side of the lake up in this cove and try to go for the other bank and hope there's something over there by it. But it could also be what I'm throwing out. Time of year it is, color, what I'm throwing, presentation. There's so many things that can go into it at different times. Full moon tonight, fish going to be up all night eating. Yeah, we had a full moon. I think we had a full moon here last night. Because I was sitting up there out with the dogs, taking them out to do their business, and I looked up at it. But yeah, man, it's crazy how one day something they hit, next day they won't touch. I used to go to a place called Russell Dam on the Georgia-South Carolina border. It's called Russell Dam. I used to go there, and me and a buddy of mine went there one week, and we watched these guys fishing the flukes. And they were the white ones, like the 6-inch or more, big white ones. And they were putting them on a redhead jig body. They'd chunk them out, let them drift down. They'd start walking down and start reeling them back slowly to them and nailing big stripes. We didn't have any of those with us that day. We fished what we had. We didn't do anything. Next week, we had gone to Walmart, bought that exact same thing. I don't even know if it had been a week. It might have been only 2 or 3 days. We went to Walmart, bought the exact same bodies, bought the jig heads too, come back, not one bite on the exact same thing that 3-4 days before. Guys were nailing them left and right. We mean pulling out whoppers. We're talking about pulling out 8, 10, 12-pound stripers. And we're sitting there going, really? 3-4 days ago, y'all were nailing those. Now, you won't touch them. Like you say, it's all about knowing the area a lot of times. You get to know a certain spot, and you learn it. And you know, okay, this month, they're probably going to be hitting top water. This next month, they're going to be hitting. And the water's been dirty lately, so they're going to be hitting this color. The water's clear this week, they're going to be hitting this. Yep, I'm not going to quit fishing just because I'm not catching. I just can't wait. I'll be really excited when I finally catch something in the area right here where I live, right here at this spot. That way, hey, I don't have to drive anywhere to go catch them. That happens sometimes. A lure that works won't work the next few weeks. Yeah. That's like right here. I went down to the lake and fished. And I done been down there like 3 or 4 times. Haven't caught a single fish. And I've gone with fake and I've gone with live bait down there. Nothing. Not a single bite that I know of. But down the road, probably, I want to say 2 miles. About 2 miles down the road, same lake. Every time I go there, I catch at least three or more brim. Yeah. If I'm out with the kayak, at least I'm getting to see some pretty scenery out there on the water. You know, and you're still getting exercise. That's the good thing about when you take the kayak out and you don't catch no fish. You can be like, well, hey, I didn't catch no fish, but look where I'm at. You're out in the middle of the lake or something, you know, or out on the middle of a pond, looking around in a beautiful pond. You can be like, well, okay, that was worth it, you know. Now, standing on the bank that day wasn't as much fun, especially when I realized I forgot to pull the cover off when I recorded. That wasn't exactly fun to come home and do that. I walked in, saw the cover on there, and I'm like, just hung my head. Felt that big, and I was like, okay, we won't make that mistake again. Did you know after females lay eggs, the males guard the bed for like 2 weeks to keep other fish from eating the eggs? Most of the time, the male fish will die after that 2 weeks from the stress. Wow. Yep. But people be wearing them out right now bed fishing. A lot of people don't care. They out there to catch fish and they don't care if they're stressing them or not. But I'm definitely ready to get out there with the kayak and try fishing from the kayak and see if I can catch anything up in this cove. I'll put them back at the bed and move on, though. Yeah, a lot of guys will throw them over beside another bed instead of throwing them back right where they got them from because they're wanting to catch the female because she's generally going to be bigger at that bed. If she's over there near the bed, they try to catch the female. So it all depends on what you're out there for. I wouldn't care. I'll go out there and catch a brim. I don't care. Brim, crappie, catfish, largemouth, smallmouth. I don't care. As long as I can say, hey, I caught something, I'm thrilled just to say that. When I caught them little bait fish, basically, them little brim like that, I come home, my girlfriend said, did you catch anything today? Yeah, I caught 3. Wasn't big enough to keep. But I had fun. I caught something, had fun. And yeah, definitely being on the kayak adds a certain more amount of fun to it because you're out there kayaking. You're out there in the middle of the water. Bed fishing is illegal here in Ontario, Canada. Wow. Now that I didn't know about. So massive clouds, you can't move to Canada. It's illegal, buddy. You got to stay in the States just for that reason. Just so you can bed fish. He also likes to go to the hop on golf carts and go over to golf courses, rather. He likes to go to golf courses and fish there. Me, I never even thought about going to a golf course. Just because 9 times out of 10, when you get seen there and you get spotted, either somebody's going to come over starting something with you to run you off, or the cops are going to show up and run you off. I figured I'll just look for somewhere else. Look for a pond that doesn't say no fishing, doesn't have a sign. That way, if somebody pulls up, it's a pond off the side of the road, you can be like, well, hey, there's no trespassing sign here. There's no fishing sign here. It doesn't say I can't. You know, so I'm trying it here. Now I know, I'll move on. Hey, after they lay eggs, I'm usually fishing out deep for the females that's already dropped their eggs. So you catch the daddies, and then you move out to the deep to catch the mamas after they torture the daddies with the babysitting duty, huh? Would you be a moving target at a golf course? I don't want to be out there fishing a spot and got to worry about a golf ball catching me in the side of the head while I'm trying to catch a fish. I'd rather find an old pond back in the woods that's a little hard to get to and take a machete with me and cut back some stuff, some brush and stuff, and just go fish an old pond and then have somebody come out there and go, hey, man, you can't be here. This is a private pond. Well, hey, I didn't see any signs. Sorry. I'll leave. You know, I almost got hit by a golf ball yesterday. Oh, my cousin did that. He told the guy, my friend who works here, Steve, said I can fish here. And they let him fish. He did not know anyone named Steve. Oh, man. But yeah, it gets me how you go fishing somewhere. They don't have a no fishing sign up anywhere. They don't have a no trespassing sign up anywhere. You're parked out on the side of the road somewhere, and you're just standing out there from the bank fishing. You're not in their subdivision. You're not in their yard, and they want to come out there and try to run you off. You can't be here. This is a private lake or a private pond. Well, you know, if it's private, Why didn't you put a sign up? That would solve you having to come out here and fuss at people. Take a sign, put it in the ground. It says no fishing, no trespassing. Then you keep people out right there. Problem solved. Private lake, private pond owned by residents. Boom, no fishing. Okay, I'm leaving. But you don't put no sign, and then you get mad when people step down there and fish. Allergies messing me up right now, boy. That pollen. Go outside, and my truck's supposed to be green and silver, and it's yellow. It's rough out there right now. I'll fish ponds that are not in yards. Well, see, that's the way I feel. You go near a subdivision. Don't go park in the subdivision if you can help it. That way people don't fuss about that. You're not in the subdivision technically. And then you stand over there on the edge of a bank right coming off the road. If the pond comes out to the road, you just step off the road and bank fish right there. Well, even if you don't catch fish, these people fuss just because you're standing on land they think they own out by the road, fishing out of a pond that maybe is part of that community, and they don't think you should be there. Well, I'm going to be honest. Depends on the time of year and whether I'm in the mood for it or not, whether I keep them. I have kept them before. Oh, I love the fight. You get out there and catfish, get a big cat on that line and fight that catfish in. Oh, man, I've enjoyed several catfish fights, and loved it. I've enjoyed going fishing for striper and trying to pull that big fish back against the current of the water when that dam's letting the water come down like this and you bringing them against the current. There's nothing like it. You don't know what's on the hook and how big it is. And you're like, man, this feels like a good one. And you may get it in, and it might be something you kind of hooked on the side instead of at the mouth, and he came in sideways, and he ain't really big. Then again, you may pull him in and go, oh my God, did I catch a whale? Look at this thing, guys. If you got people down there fishing with you. I love fishing just for fishing, but I can't say I've never ate them. I can't say that I won't eat any more. We had stripers. Oh man. Now I'm gonna tell you, I love striper meat. Me and my buddy, before he passed away years ago, we used to go fishing. Thank you, man. He passed away this last year. Me and him used to go striper fishing a good bit. And that's what I told you. We went to the Russell Dam. We used to also go to another dam and we'd fish at it. And the water would be coming down. You throw out at the dam, let it carry your bait down, and then you'd reel back toward you and they'd come up and just nail it. And then you'd have to fight the current plus fight the big old fish. And they get so big out there, you can catch a 21-inch one, keep 4 or 5 of them, and you ain't really hurting the population because they get so big out there. But you can't catch them at the one place we went. You can't keep them unless they're 21 inches and up. The other place I went to, you can't keep but 5 that are above 21 inches. It's more of like to me, I want to say more of a light pink. To me, the ones I caught. But I caught some, brought them home, filleted them, took me a little pan like this, took the fillets and laid them in the pan all the way across it, took me some onions, cut up some onions in there, added me a little bit of garlic salt in there on top of the onions and the fish, and then I took me a little bit of lemon juice, put that in there with a little bit of water, folded the aluminum foil over on top of it, put them in the oven and put them on broil. I went to scoop them up out the pan and you couldn't even hardly scoop them up out the pan. They were so soft it was just coming apart, trying to come up out of the pan. So basically I had to go in there with like a spoon and go under them and just put the plate right beside it and flip them over into the plate. Some of the best fish I'd ever eat. Just trim the red meat off, stripers. I love striper. I've ate that some. I love catfish, but I like the smaller ones. Don't be doing this. I'm hungry. Me talking about fixing them fish up. Now, I love catching catfish. Now, the big ones, to be honest, I just like catching those to be able to say I got a big cat. Hey, man, I caught a 7-pound cat. Hey, man, I caught a 10-pound. I caught a 12-pound. That's the reason I like to catch the big ones. If I want a catfish to eat, I want that 2 to 5 pound. That's about all I want on the catfish to eat. The meat just tastes better when he's around a 2 to 4. I'd say 2 to 4 pounds actually probably the best on the catfish. Catch you around a 2 to 4 pound. I didn't mess with no bloodline. I didn't have a problem with that. I might catch fish some soon for meat. Talking about eating fish makes me want to do a fish fry. Now, if you're gonna catch big catfish and you're gonna keep them and you're gonna eat them, to me, making catfish nuggets is the best way to do a big cat. Yeah, the real big ones taste muddier. The meat just doesn't taste as good. You catch a 12-pound cat, you take him home and you cook him, he doesn't taste as good. But you go catch that 2-pound cat, a 3-pound, one just big enough to fillet him and up to maybe a 4-pounder. Flathead tastes like dirt. Yeah, and the bigger they are, the worse they taste. Like I said, it seems like a 2-pound to around a 4 or 5 pound is about the best tasting meat on a catfish. Catfish tacos. Cat tacos. But now, brim, I eat them any kind of way. Whether it's frying them up in a frying pan, if they're big enough, over hand size of my hand, and I can sit there and fillet them, I'll fillet them up. Otherwise, cut the head off, gut him, do what I got to do. Put some flour on him. Just a tad of meat tenderizer in with the flour to give it a little bit better taste. Oh, yeah, take you one. Scale him. Cut the head. Come down the stomach. Get the guts out. Take him. Wash him off a little bit. Flip him over in some flour with a little bit of meat tenderizer mixed in with it. Just a little bit. Fry him up in the frying pan. The only bad thing about it is you got to pick the bones out when you're picking through the meat. But now, if you catch them, big one, you can fillet it. That's why I love catching, like crappie. especially you catch them pound-sized crappie, take them things home and fillet them. Oh, good eating. I eat brim, crappie, catfish, bass. I eat any of those. Now, I've never ate carp, and I've never ate gar. I have to fish the river to catch smallmouth here. I love the taste of bass, just can't kill a largemouth these days. But yeah, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. If I can't catch fish, I can see going to Long John Silver's. Or I can see going to a grocery store, maybe picking up some fish, and every now and then frying up a few pieces or something like that. Blah, 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 you know, to get your fix on if you're not keeping them. But there's nothing like going in your house, getting you some flour, flouring up a few pieces of fish, throwing it on the burner in the skillet, and having you some good old fish. You know, or putting it, like I said, in the oven, putting it on broil. Now, I only do the oven on broil. I only do that if I can fillet it. If it's not a fillet, I'm not trying to put it in the oven and broil it. I'll just fry that. If it's nothing that I can't fillet, then I generally just fry it. But with fillets, I'm not frying them. I went fishing with a Cinco one time. Something hit it. I reeled it in, and it was a freshwater clam. Wow. Bet you didn't expect that. You're like, really? Seriously? Like you said, what the? Yep. Well, guys, everybody stay safe. Peace. This is Marshall. We about to call it because, like Tom Hobby said up there earlier, I done made him hungry talking about fish and the way I cooked them fish. I done got hungry myself. So it's time to go get me something to eat. And my beverage ran out, so time to go get something to drink. Later, guys. Hope to see y'all next Tuesday. Peace. We out.